Slide number 134. As you can readily see by the tolerance indicated in this frame of your adjustment and parts manual, the adjustment of the clearance between the pawl and the ratchet is not at all critical. On the one hand, we must make sure that the pawl does not drag over the teeth of the ratchet when the operational shaft is turning. And on the other hand, we must allow some overthrow play for the cam after it has reached its rest position. The rest position of a clutch is frequently called check pawl position of that clutch, signifying that the check pawl is engaged with the check ring. Slide number 135. It is now time for a bit of a review, and we will take the opportunity of introducing a new part and its function, namely the interposer. There are many interposers on the IBM Selectric typewriter. The name interposer is a very descriptive name. Interposer can be understood to mean that the part is positioned between the keyboard or the operator and the output mechanism chosen by the operator. Specifically, each interposer has two functions: to select one or more selector latches and to engage a clutch by which the selector latch or latches can be powered in order to perform the desired function. We will see later that there are only a few interposers on the Selectric typewriter which have a bit of a lesser function. Starting with the left side of the drawing, when the key lever is depressed, the key lever pawl is pressed down also. The key lever pawl will push down on the left end or front end of the interposer, causing the interposer latch to disengage the latch plate. When the left or front end of the interposer is depressed, the interposer is made to rotate around the screw located at the center or underneath the interposer. After the disengagement of the interposer latch, the interposer spring located on the right or rear tip of the interposer causes the interposer to slide towards the rear. This rearward motion causes the operational selector latch to be placed underneath the bail of the cam follower, in a position at which the operational selector latch is ready to receive the downward push from the bail of the cam follower. Notice also that the shorter, lower lug of the interposer will meet the vertical extension of the clutch release lever, which we call the clutch latch. The rearward motion of the interposer then causes the clutch latch to rotate counterclockwise so as to disengage the clutch disc and allow the engagement of the clutch pawl with the operational clutch ratchet. Since the ratchet is continuously turning counterclockwise, the operational cam will also turn counterclockwise. With the right or rear tip of the interposer, we perform the selection of the operational selector latch, and with the lower lug of the interposer, we engaged or caused the ratchet clutch to engage so that we could provide the power to the mechanism which is attached to the operational latch. Slide number 136. The rotation of the cam causes the cam follower to oscillate, and in the process, the bail of the cam follower pulls down the operational selector latch. Notice, however, that underneath the cam follower, there's a part called interposer restoring lever, which is also made to oscillate when the cam follower is made to oscillate. During the clockwise portion of the oscillation of the interposer restoring lever, the interposer is made to latch up again with the interposer latch plate. In the process, the key lever pawl is made to rotate towards the left or the front of the machine, in the event that the operator may still be holding the key lever down. This illustration assumes that the operator is still holding the key lever down. Therefore, the key lever pawl must be rotated out of the way, which is to the front of the machine, or the left in this drawing. Notice that there is one more step on the key lever pawl, which even now is still over the left or the front end of the interposer. With the operational controls, it is possible to depress the key lever down into a repeat operation position by applying additional pressure to the key lever. If our operator had done this, the left or front tip of the interposer would have been held so low that the interposer latch would be unable to relatch with the interposer latch plate, and we would have had a repeat action for this operation. In this case, the interposer was allowed to relatch with a plate, and this allowed the clutch latch or clutch release arm to rotate back into the path of the step of the clutch disc, thus enabling the clutch latch to stop the continued rotation of the clutch disc. The cam and the pawl and the check ring assembly, however, continue to rotate under their own inertia against the action of the pawl spring, thus stretching the spring. After the clutch pawl has been forced out of engagement from the ratchet, the check pawl falls into the opening of the check ring, trapping the spring in its distended condition. The check ring opening is not visible in this drawing because the check ring is located on the far side of the operational cam. Continued rotation of the cam is eventually stopped by the pin in the clutch pawl hitting the outer corner of the opening in the clutch disc. Under the action of the clutch spring, or clutch pawl spring, the cam would now turn clockwise if it weren't for the check pawl preventing it. Make sure that you can repeat the explanation given with the last two slides on your own. In just a little while, you will be asked to repeat this explanation while tracing the parts on the machine, rather than on this nice drawing. Slide number 137. Now let us trace the components on the machine. After the spacebar key lever and the key lever pawl, we come to the front tip of the spacebar interposer. On this partially disassembled machine, it is easy to spot the interposer latch plate, and for that matter, the interposer latches. Be sure to locate them on your assembled machine. Slide number 138. If you follow the interposer indicated by the yellow pencil to the point indicated by the red pencil, you will be able to locate the operational selector latch for the spacebar mechanism. You should make it a habit to devote special attention to those areas or parts of the machine which are somewhat more difficult to see. If you have difficulty in seeing them during the troubleshooting, you will find that you have to make up for it by visualizing their operation. Such visualization is only possible if you're thorough when you study the mechanism. So don't try to cut corners for your own good. Slide number 139. Here, the yellow pencil indicates the lug of the interposer, which is responsible for tapping the source of positive power, or simply, the lug which is responsible for engaging the clutch. The red pencil points at the lower extension of the clutch latch, or the clutch release lever, as IBM calls it. Slide number 140. The red pencil in this picture shows the lug of the interposer restoring lever, or interposer restoring bridge, yellow pencil, which during the operation is acted upon by the cam follower. Notice that both sides of the interposer restoring bridge come equipped with this lug. This enables the cam follower of either operational cam to operate the restoring bridge. Do you still remember that the spacebar cam is double-lobed while the index carry return engagement cam is single-lobed? When you consider this fact, you realize that the restoring bridge operates at two different speeds. A fast one for the spacebar operations and a slow speed for the index carry return cam operations. At this point, see if you can repeat on your own machine the complete theory of operation for the spacebar mechanism, excluding, of course, the output mechanism, the parts of which are attached to the selector latch. You should try to explain how the mechanism works under single action operations and also how it works under repeat action operations. You should refrain from continuing the program unless you're capable of doing it. If you wish to review the matter, rewind your tape until you come to the slide number 123 and then restart this presentation. In either case, we wish you good luck. To continue this program, please fast forward this audio tape all the way to its end and then continue by playing tape number 4, side 1, for this segment number 10-1A of this program on the IBM Selectric typewriter.